So while I figure out what I want to do next in the container, I thought now is a good time for a video update. It's now spring. It's a little bit cool now, but it's a lot warmer than it has been. Well, inside is a bit of a mess, I won't lie, especially the back here. So I've got my collection of buckets, some wood and other crap back here that I will have to move really soon. I have an IBC tote in the yard that I just finished washing out. So probably as soon as tomorrow I'll clean this up. But for now it stays. I've also switched to Sephora salt. I have a whole bunch of boxes in the back there, and then I have a whole bunch of boxes over here. I stopped using Instant Ocean for a couple of reasons. One, I had a couple of bad batches with really high iron. The problem wasn't so much that. I mean, every salt has bad batches. They wouldn't acknowledge that there was a problem despite the fact that I told them, and then later had some of the salt ICP tested, and other people also complained. So basically I just had enough of them, and then also I wanted to move away from a US brand. This salt is actually rebranded Royal Nature salt, so it's made in Israel, but in Canada it's branded as Sephora, sold through Big Al's. Anyways, as far as the system goes, I basically have 2 racks more or less running. The top is not really running, there's just one tank, but I have 5 60-gallon breeders, 1 40-gallon, 4 17-gallon tubs, and then the 1 28-gallon low boil runner. So I have 2 of them. These are the smaller frag tanks. They are 3 feet by 18 by 10 inches tall. They work great for the top because there's still lots of clearance. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the far end yet. There's just those 10-gallon tanks sitting up there. So there is a lot more fish in the system now. Ideally there would be a lot more, and that is coming, but for now, this is where I'm at. These guys here, the biggest ones are probably about 1 inch. There's a couple of black storms, orange storms, snowflakes, Da Vinci's, frostbites, and a few more. Down below, these guys are basically what I would deem saleable size, meaning they are at least 1 1/4 inches. And then over here, I have some maroons, lightning, thunder, regular. People love to say these guys are super aggressive, and they certainly are. You can see some chasing and fighting. But generally, I don't really lose more of these guys than Ocellaris to fighting. This is probably about as packed as I would like them, although there is a lot more space on the other side. This tank here just has a couple of fish. This is just my backup nearly naked. You may recall I had a naked clownfish in my display tank for like 17 years. She laid a few clutches, but unfortunately she passed away and didn't produce any entirely naked fish. So I have one in another display tank, and this is just the backup, and then there's a teeny tiny maroon with her. That was just a fish that was in here that was way too small. Over here I have some larger maroons. These guys are ready to go and will be sold soon. So they are probably 1 1/2 inches, 1 3/4 inches even. They're getting big. And there are a few that have some really nice patterns. So you probably noticed there's the bulkhead in the front of this tank, and yeah, that's kind of silly. So what happened is the original 40-gallon breeder that was here cracked. And I'm gonna guess that it was always cracked after I put it in. It's very tricky getting these tanks in because the bottom row, they're all connected like this. So you basically have to get it into 2 different tanks at the same time, and that's not easy. Over here, I joined these 2 tanks with just 1 inch bulkhead and these elbows that are really close, so that you don't bump it. I'm not exactly a master plumber, but this works. So anyways, this tank was cracked all across the side, and probably in another day or 2 it would have blown. It didn't actually leak. Actually, this new tank leaks far more. But so this tank was a sump in my original house growout system. It was all jammed together. That's why there was a bulkhead here, so that it could drain into another sump. And actually, this one was already here too, and you'll see that there's silicone around it and a ton of silicone here. So basically it was leaking, and I just got fed up and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to silicone it. There is actually still a very small drip, but salt should fix that. And then over here, I've got some more larger ocellaris. These guys are also ready to go. Some mostly orange storms. There's a few frostbites as well. And then a couple real nice Da Vinci's and one lightning maroon that made it in this tank before I got the strainer on the maroon tank just to the right of me. Now there's also Clownfish in here, which seems to be doing a really good job growing and lowering the nitrates. Generally these grow systems run really high nitrates, but for now it's actually fine. Oh, there's actually a second lightning in here. So they seem to do fine. I mean, they're about the same size as the ocellaris. I will eventually probably net them out and bring them back to the other tank. So all of these tanks are plumbed together, as well as these 17-gallon tubs. This one has some small fish in it, but the other ones are mostly empty. So they will be for smaller fish, and then I just put this mesh around the homemade overflows so that basically nothing will get through. Although when I say nothing, I think there are one or two baby fish in the sump. So my current sump is this IBC tote. It's not quite halfway filled. There is a bunch of live rock in it. And this reef octopus skimmer that was my skimmer in the house growout system seems to be working quite well for now. I do have this MRC skimmer that's really old and needs a little bit of work that will eventually be set up. I think it's rated for like 3,000 gallons of commercial water, but for now this one is working fine. Basically what I gotta decide is, do I want to make the sump bigger with this IBC tote? So I had to get this in now because once I have another rack here, it'll be very difficult to be able to slide the tote in. Actually, I think the plumbing on this just makes it not fit. So either this is going to be for saltwater mixing, or I will cut the top off and then join it with this one. Originally, I was going to build an algae scrubber here with the remaining part of the IBC tote. I just actually never got around to it, so maybe I won't, and I'll just attach this. I could put another little algae scrubber on top here. The other thing I could do, and this would obviously need reinforcing, this was never finished anyways, would be to move a full IBC tote here and then use that for either fresh or saltwater mixing. I don't really think I need two. That would be 1,250 liters of fresh and saltwater. The salt I'm using now mixes very fast, so I could either keep it all fresh or I could keep it all salt and then just, add a 55-gallon drum for freshwater top-offs. Right now I'm still doing the top-offs manually. Since this is a system that I check on several times a day, it's not really that critical. Actually, I do have a float that I just haven't installed yet. Speaking of installing, I should install this vent one of these days. It's a little bit scary, but it probably won't be that hard to cut into the container. Drilling into it wasn't hard. And then I could install this vent. The heaters are fortunately not really running much except at night now. It is well insulated in here and holds in the heat well. I do have that small dehumidifier way in the back running. I definitely need to get a bigger one, as even with the dehumidifier, it's currently about 80% humidity, which is still a little bit too humid. I've got to finish all these lids, which definitely do help, but as you can see, there's still a few tanks that are uncovered, and then of course the sump too. So if you have thoughts, if you think I should join these two together, or just maybe I could just stick with the one for now. In theory, I would be able to pull this out enough to join them later. It's just I don't want to actually remove this tote later. And then I could put one more here, or I could keep the other one over here. So yeah, I mean, this video is getting long. That's all I got for now. There will, of course, be more tanks added. I do have two 60-gallon breeders that I haven't hooked up yet. I currently don't need them, so there's a little bit less of a sense of urgency. Obviously, I will sell these fish soon, so there will be more free tanks. Of course, I do have more baby fish to move in here too. I do look forward to the day when there is no more building and it's just taking care of the fish, but there's still a lot more to come. If you have any questions about the hatchery or even constructive criticism, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching and happy breeding.